Howdy y'all, thank you for joining us today for this unboxing of the Castles of Tuscany. It's one of the new Alea games, or Alea. I'm really not sure how to say that. Guess I should look that up before I start the video. But this is actually, what got me interested in this is the game Castles of Burgundy. And this is like number 3 in the series, I guess. I know the first one was like something Royale. I have it at the shop, cannot remember it for the life of me right now. But number 2 was Castles of Burgundy, and now we have the new game, Castles of Tuscany. Right off the bat, you can see some similarities vaguely to Burgundy, but really what I've been hearing a lot of things about is this has a lot of comparisons to that answer to a question that's really hard for me to answer in the shop is when people are coming in looking for something similar to Catan. Well, I watched a playthrough of this. If you're into the building on the hexes and using your cards to build, well, this is right up your alley. This might be that little avenue for that sideways into Catan. At least to have something that gives you that feel for it. But, yep, as you can see there, you're going to compete to build the most prosperous realm as powerful Tuscan noble in the heyday of the Italian Renaissance. Build, trade, harvest, and quarry to bolster the towns, villages, and monasteries surrounding your castello. Let's pop this open and see what it's about. Or what it looks like, I should say. Like I said, I already watched a playthrough of it, and I do have to agree. I'd already heard someone say it was similar to Catan. It's not exactly Catan, but it definitely has that feel that where someone who's played Catan can see this escalation into the next type of game. Alright. Off the bat, we got cards here. You're going to need 150 sleeves, says there's 150 cards in here. These are the size you're going to need. They're called the smalls if you're going with the board game sleeves. If you are looking at other brands, you're going to want 44 by 68s. And you are going to need 150 of them. I like these non-glare ones from board game sleeves. It only comes 50 in a box. But what I like about them is they give you a little tuck box, which is nice because once you sleeve these up, your 50 cards, all 50 cards will fit back in here kind of tightly, but they will fit back in here, and it gives you a nice little tuck box to help protect your cards and your sleeves. That's always nice. If not, you can just get the same brand, or I think Game Genix has one also where it's about $4 to $5 for 100 of them, and this is about half that price because it's only 50 of them. But this is what you're going to need. All right. Let's go into, so we got some cardboard pieces here. In a bag. From what I saw in the playthrough, these are like little workers that you could use as a random resource, or not a random resource, you could use as a wild resource, what I should say. These are pieces of marble, which I do have pieces of marble at the shop, so when I play this game, I'll probably actually use the actual little squares of marble I have. And then looks like little score markers. Yep, there's a small cylinder and a big cylinder here. So, and I think from the playthrough, you got some of these also. If I remember right, this is a wild card hex, so you can put it down in any color of hex. And yep, that looks like all the little wooden pieces there. All right, we got the rule book here. Well, the bat, I think it's Italian. Oh, they got them. Yep, so it does like Castles of Burgundy, where you're going to have multiple rule books here, all in different languages. Oh, let me just go ahead and start putting some of those down. Let's see if we can find the English one. Did I skip over it? I did. Aha. So you can see here we got 1, 2, 3, which that looked German, I may be wrong, 4, and then a 5th language, which is English. Kind of cool. Don't really know if I need all that, but it makes it easy for them to be able to put it across the world, and easier because you don't have to do a bunch of different prints. So I'm already happy. For someone like me, I do like complicated games, but but I don't like complicated rule books. This one feels pretty thin. You got the introduction and the game components right on the front here. And then you got the game set up, how to set up the player boards, playing the game, the player's actions, what you can do on your turn, the hex tiles, and then game end. Pretty simple, looks like. Sounds like it's pretty simple too. All right, got some cardboard here. Of course, I always try to replace all my cardboard, but this is, from what I saw in the playthrough, this is not one of those games where I'm gonna be able to do that. But these are like your starting areas where you're gonna be starting to, as far as like, I should say starter areas, they're gonna be your areas. You start with 3 of these, you have to connect them, and it's 2 or 3. I thought it looked like 3, but I'm only seeing 2 here at the moment. And you have to start with them connected, and then it gives you a spot to start building on. And then these are the player powers that you can pick up as you play and earn more player powers, basically. And then the hexes that you actually build upon your board. These are the basics ones that are out for everybody. And then from what I understand, each player has their own colored ones that will be going out there also. As you buy them, you have to replace and so forth. And then it's got your player board, which lets you know basically all your player powers. Depending on which hex you play, it gives you a certain player power. And then, yeah, without going too much, because I watched the game be played, but I don't know, I haven't played the game yet. So I may say something that doesn't really jive with the actual playthrough of it. But it did look, like I said, when I watched the playthrough of it, it was pretty much, I kept getting exactly what someone had already said. I kept getting that Catan vibe of the hexes and trading cards in for building on the hexes. So yep, there's B, and this is probably going to say C. So yeah, it was what I remembered. 3 different spots that'll be connected. And then you have the scoreboard, where you'll play over multiple rounds and see who had, at the end of each round, you're going to have the outer track, which is your score for the round. And at the end of the round, you move your score inwards to keep track of where you're at, and then start scoring again for the next round. All right. Nice little design inside the box. So next is when we normally would go through the cards, and this is where I would normally talk about the sleeves, but I already did, talked about that. Now we'll just kind of flip through the cards and see what they look like. I mean, these got some artworks on the back. Oh, I don't know. Probably a first player marker, I'm assuming. These look like all the cards. These are the resources. So like, basically if I wanted to build this tile on my hex, and I have the hex available, I would discard 2 of these cards, and that lets me build that hex. Or you could do 2 to 1. So basically, like I said, if you're familiar with Catan, you're going to be familiar with that mechanic, basically. It's just you don't have to worry about building to a trade spot or whatnot. And then these look like more of those cards. So these are going to be more of the resource cards. Yep. Just more resource cards. So as you can see, a majority of the game is the resource cards. I guess I could show a picture of each so you can kind of see the artwork. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Castles of Burgundy, so the second I heard about this one, I had it on pre-order immediately. And it should be available now at all of your LGSs. Just might be kind of hard to find since it's brand new, and then with the holidays, board games and whatnot. So what these are, you would think development cards, but there's one of the powers you can get where every time you build this hex, you get to flip up one of these randomly, and they let you do something in the game. Like this one, I guess, lets you draw 2 cards, is what I'm guessing. So this looks like a victory point. More victory points. Card and a victory point. The marble. A worker. The random hex, or the hex that you, wild hex. I keep wanting to call it random, wild hex. But yes, as you can see, I can't wait to get this to the table. With Castle Burgundy, it's got an interest to me, so I definitely want to try it out. So we'll definitely try to get it to the table and see how it plays. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.